Every year, on October 31st, something strange happens. The air grows colder, shadows stretch longer, and even the most rational minds begin to sense something watching. But Halloween wasn't always candy and costumes. Long before glowing pumpkins and horror films, it was a night that blurred the boundary between the living and the dead, a night born from fear, reverence, and survival. Our ancestors didn't celebrate Halloween for fun. They observed it because they believed the dark could swallow them whole if they didn't. This is the story of how humans learned to live with fear, and why, centuries later, we still dance with it every Halloween night. Where it all began, Samhain. The origins of Halloween trace back over 2,000 years to the Celtic festival of Samhain, pronounced Samhain. To the Celts, Samhain marked the end of the harvest and the beginning of winter, the dark half of the year. It was a time of death, not metaphorically, but literally. Crops withered. Livestock were slaughtered. The sun's warmth retreated. But Samhain carried an even deeper significance. The Celts believed that on this night, the veil between worlds grew thin, that spirits could cross over, wandering among the living. Some sought reunion with loved ones. Others weren't so kind. People built bonfires to guide friendly spirits home and ward off the vengeful ones. They left food on doorsteps for the wandering dead, the earliest form of trick or treat. And to stay hidden from malevolent souls, villagers disguised themselves with masks and ashes, the first costumes. Fear became ritual. Ritual became protection. And protection became tradition. The Church's intervention, turning fear into faith. As Christianity spread through Celtic lands, the Church faced a dilemma. They couldn't erase Samhain, it was too deeply rooted. So instead, they transformed it. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory III declared November 1st as All Saints' Day, a day to honor the holy dead. The night before became All Hallows' Eve, which, over time, became Halloween. But the old beliefs never truly vanished. People still lit fires, still wore masks, still whispered about spirits crossing the boundary. The Church gave the night new names, but humanity's oldest instinct, to respect the dark, refused to die. It was a brilliant act of psychological adaptation. We didn't eliminate fear. We sanctified it. The masks we wear, a psychological mirror. Every Halloween, we become something, or someone, else. A monster. A hero. A ghost. But what if that act of dressing up isn't just for fun? Psychologists suggest that masking our identity on Halloween allows us to safely explore parts of ourselves we suppress all year. Carl Jung called this the shadow, the hidden self, the impulses and desires society teaches us to bury. When we wear a costume, we let the shadow breathe. For one night, we give permission to chaos, mischief, and transformation. It's no coincidence that Halloween falls when the natural world itself begins to decay, when light dies and darkness takes over. In a way, the costumes, the pranks, the laughter, they're all defense mechanisms. We mock what we fear. We turn death into play, because it's the only way to live with it. America, fear, and the birth of modern Halloween. When Irish and Scottish immigrants brought their Samhain traditions to America in the 19th century, something new began to take shape. In this new world, ancient superstition met urban anxiety. The Great Depression fueled vandalism and chaos on Halloween night. Property damage, theft, fires. Communities responded by domesticating the holiday, turning a night of fear into a family event. Trick-or-treating was born not from sweetness, but from social control, an offering of sugar in exchange for peace. Hollywood joined in. By the mid-20th century, Halloween became a mirror of modern fears. Slasher films, haunted houses, psychological thrillers, each decade reflected our evolving anxieties. From the atomic age to the age of serial killers, we projected our nightmares onto a night meant to contain them. Halloween wasn't just about ghosts anymore. It was about us. The psychology of fear, why we love to be scared. But why do we seek fear? Why do we line up for haunted houses, watch horror movies, and tell stories that make our skin crawl? Neuroscientists have found that when we experience fear in a controlled environment, where we know we're safe, our brains release dopamine and endorphins. It's the thrill of danger without the real threat. Like flirting with the abyss but never falling in. But there's more. Fear connects us. It activates empathy, community, and storytelling, ancient tools of survival. The tribe that shared ghost stories stayed awake longer, stayed alert, and stayed alive. So when we gather around a bonfire or a screen, our pulse quickens not just from fear, but from recognition. We remember what it means to be human, fragile, curious, terrified, and alive. When darkness returns. As the night deepens and the candles flicker out, we return to where it all began, standing at the edge of darkness, wondering what lies beyond. Maybe Halloween survives not because we love horror, but because we need it. We need reminders of death to appreciate life. We need fear to measure courage. And we need stories of ghosts, monsters, and things unseen, to give shape to what we can't explain. In the end, Halloween is a ritual of resilience. It's how we face the unknown and whisper, "I see you." When you carve your pumpkin and light your candle, remember this: you're not just celebrating a holiday. You're participating in one of humanity's oldest psychological rites, the dance between life and death, fear and fascination, darkness and light. Because no matter how far we evolve, every October, the darkness returns. And deep down, we welcome it.